you should seek professional help, why you should seek therapists, and also give you some clue on how you can choose therapy. Someone told me recently that he likes the fact that I always like consulting professionals when it comes to different things that affect my life, my family, which means my marriage, and also my children. And yes, I believe that I cannot be everything, you cannot be everything, right? And that there are people who are specialized in different areas, in different fields, so that they can help us. Now, what is the work and everything that these people do? They train themselves every time, they get to work on the field every time in this particular discipline. They are licensed to practice in that particular discipline, and I submit to them, right? Now, for you to work with your lawyer, for you to work with your doctor, it is commonly said that you have to trust them, you have to believe them to be able to help you, right? And so you have to tell them the truth so that they can help you. Yes, yours sincerely is also a family law lawyer. It could be very embarrassing when we get to court during examination in chief or cross examination. We start hearing things, major things. I mean, very major information that our clients could have shared with us before court and our clients did not. It could actually be embarrassing. It will even be worse when it comes to life and death situation if it's with your medical doctor, because this is a person who will be able to help you preserve your life, help you extend your life, and help you get better. And there you are hiding vital information from the person. I'd like to make all of us see something and realize something that uh, people who are trained to help, and I'm talking now of counselors and therapists, are also trained to keep your information very confidential. I remember somebody said that I was taking my job too seriously because my wife would not know who my counselors are, and she may also not know the cases that I'm handling. Right? I remember one particular time that she referred her cousin to me so that I could help her deal with a particular issue in her life. And at that material time, her cousin and her shared the same bed, right? The same house, the same bedroom, and on the same bed. And when she asked me how far, what's up, or what did she say, how did people go about it? We were dating at that time. And I said, nothing. And she was like, what do you mean nothing? You guys have been talking and the rest. What do you mean nothing? Like, if you want any information, go and meet her. She's your cousin. You guys sleep together. You guys sleep on the same bed. So why don't you ask her? Why are you coming to ask me? Why don't you ask her? Ask her directly. Well, how was it like? What did people talk about? What did he tell you? What are the questions he asked you and the rest? Why are you coming to ask me? Why are you bringing it to me? Right? And that mentality still operates today, even in my marriage. I learned to keep my clients' information and my clients' brief very private. And that's to protect them, especially when I know their story could reveal their identity. Yes, it's the same thing. We get to do this live every Thursday, every day. I get to post one or two things on social media generally, and I try everything possible not to reveal people's secret, like not to use people's stories as examples, because you told me that in confidence. So I don't even use your story as an example unless you have given me the permission to share, or the story has been for such a long time that when I share it, nobody can connect it with you. And of course, I will change the plots, I will change the scenes, I will change the names and many other things, right? So if you're going through a challenge right now, if there are issues in your life that you need to deal with, you should speak with a therapist, speak with a counselor. Why? These people are trained to listen, right? We are trained to listen. What does listening mean? It means that we are able to hear what you want us to hear that you are not even saying, right? So there are many things that could have happened in your life. There are many things that could have contributed to the present situations issue you're dealing with, and you may not even know that those things are there, right? But as you get to talk, you send us clues, you give us signs and signals to say, hey, there could be something here. And that's why when people come to Meet or Rise Passion the first time, I tell them that I could ask you 1,000 questions. And the reason why I could ask you 1,000 questions is that I want to understand you better. I want to understand the case better. I want to be able to bring out information and bring out some realities and assess some truth that you never thought they were a big deal, right? Because when you come into our office, a counselor's office, there's this mental preparation that you have. Okay, these are the things I want to say. These are the core things. This I'm going to say it and the rest. And the moment you come with such an attitude, which many people do, what happens is that you would have prepared a particular story that is not completely the whole truth, that is not completely the full story, that is not entirely everything that is happening to you. So what do? We listen. We listen to you, we ask questions to clarify things, to get more meanings, to know more, to get deeper. And there are times we don't just stop there. We have to administer tests and assessments. Why do we have to administer tests and assessments? To help us understand things better. These tests are usually, for someone like me who is primarily a talk therapist, are usually questions. So they come in form of quiz, right? So in answering those questions, in answering those quiz questions, I'm able to now understand your personality better. I'm able to understand your worldview and your perspective better. I'm able to understand a whole lot of things that you may not have said or you may not have wanted to say, right? It's like many times I tell people that, okay, for example, when I'm working with people, I like to know what's their personality type. I like to know their love language. If it's a sexual matter, I like to know their sex language and I like to know their sexual blueprint. Um, from there, I like to know things like their birth order connections. And because these things help me understand them better, these things help me get a clearer picture. I remember using the birth order connection to actually pinpoint the role of a particular counselor's family, that is this person's past, the home in which the person grew up, the family from which the person showed up, to know, to understand this person better. So as therapists, we would most likely carry out tests and assessments to understand you better, to get you better. And then we may not give you activities. Some of those activities may be in our office, some of us may be outside our office. And the purpose of these activities is just to see how you react, how you respond, how you react, and how you respond. So we may change your normal routine, or we may add one or two things to it. We may give you some physical activities, right, including working out, maybe taking a walk, jumping the rope, skipping. Some activities could be cognitive. Some of them may have to do with memory. I remember one activity that I used a lot last year, and I've used it quite a number of times this year, for people who I guessed had some self-esteem issues, had some um, wrong personal views, and I tell them, write 100 things that you like about yourself, right? And from the moment they are able to do that activity, I give them sufficient time to be able to do it. From the moment they are done with that activity of writing 100 things that they like about themselves, well, most people are very quick. They can tell you all the things they don't like about themselves. They can tell you all the things their friends and family don't like about them, or the character they need to change and everything. But hey, those things may be true and correct, but what about the good things? Do you get to pay attention to them? Do you remember them? Right? So I'll usually tell them something simple: write 100 things about yourself. I want to see these 100 things. Just doing that activity, we help people boost their own morale, we help them boost their self-esteem, we help them boost their self-confidence to be able to now properly approach whatsoever issue they are bringing to us. Remember that as counselors and also as therapists, we don't help people solve their problems. What we primarily do is to actually help you channel your energy, right? Marshal your energy into addressing those things that you need to deal with. And I was talking to someone recently, and I said, "What I just want to do is to help you gather all the energy scattered all around your body into this particular project, into this particular goal, into this particular emotional target that you have set." And she was like, "I don't have any energy." I like, "I know you have energy, and the energy is only just scattered right now." And why I worked with her, why I helped her, she was able to bring those energies together, different energies scattered all around her body, into that particular emotional challenge that she was dealing with, right? So the reason why you have to do seek professional help. I know we all want to talk to our friends, we want to talk to our grandma, we want to talk to our religious leaders, and those things are very good. They have a role to play. They are very helpful, and they are not things I want to belittle. I'm only encouraging you today that if you're talking with family and friends, if you're talking with religious leaders, you may also want to, before you start talking to them, assess what their wisdom is and how their knowledge, how broad and how vast their knowledge is on that particular subject matter, right? Because people will usually counsel you based on their personal experiences and their personal exposure. For us as counselors and therapists, what we get to do is that every day we are training ourselves, every day we are learning, every day we are having particular experiences in this field. Every day we are getting to share with colleagues. So we are growing in knowledge, in understanding, in wisdom on this particular subject matter. So when you approach us with whatsoever you want us to help you deal with, you could just be maybe the 50th person in that particular year that has approached us for that. So imagine the amount of wisdom we'll be bringing on to that bringing into that counseling room, the amount of experience on that particular matter. And most of the time, even when we don't have experience in that particular matter, or we don't know so much about it, we know where to find the knowledge. So we know how to research, we know how to do different things. Just the same way we have two very competitive AIs today. We have Bard by Google and we have ChatGPT, right? And before now, we had the search engines with which people search. You know the way they will say something that I remember when I was in school, lecturers would say, if you ask the right questions, you will get the right answers, right? It did not make sense to me when I was in school, but today and every day, I get to see it because people go on search engines and they're unable to ask the right questions. And so because they cannot ask the right questions, the search engine does not understand them well to be able to bring out the proper results. You see, sometimes a particular search engine will say, did you mean to say, right? Because they are like, oh, this particular information you're asking, we cannot understand it. So I cannot understand it so much. For AI, especially when we're talking about ChatGPT and also bard.google.com, they are very specific to how you ask your questions. So, because sometimes I'll tell people, okay, just go in there and make this research for me and come out. And what they bring back, I'm like, no. And I go there and I ask some specific questions, boom, and everything come out. I'm like, yes. So as counselors, as therapists, we are trained to ask you the right questions. You may not be able to present your matter well to your religious leaders, to your grandma, and to your friends, and they themselves may not have seen your case before and may not have professional colleagues who they can ask questions. People like us, therapists and counselors, we are always researching, we are always reading, we are always developing ourselves. As new things are coming up, we are updating ourselves with those things so that we can help people. I'm not trying to say this for you to patronize me. Yes, I'm a therapist and I've been counseling for more than 19 years. And interestingly, I'm also a family law lawyer and I've been doing law for more than 12 years as a lawyer. But I'm saying, whichever city you choose to choose a counselor from or therapist from, just know that they can help you. And of course, you may want to pay attention to know what is it in particular that this particular counselor or this therapist is good at. You want to go through their social media to see what kind of posts they get to make, what are the kind of events they get to attend and also speak at, what are the books they read, the type of music they listen to, and that will be able to give you an idea if they can help you or not. There are many things I wish to say, but I cannot take all of your time. So I want to stop here and I'll suggest that you subscribe to this channel so I get to learn many amazing things that can help you better your romantic life. From the city, from the modern and ancient city of Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria, it is I, yours sincerely, El. All right. Say thank you for following me. You rock.